He passed away last Thursday. Our oldest resident. I don't believe you met him." I shook my head. "No. How old was he?" "Well, we aren't really sure. He was an indigent. No identification, no living relatives. But he claimed to have been born in 1876. I stared at him. "That would make him 131 years old." "Ridiculous, I know," the director said. "We're guessing he was somewhere in his 90s. "And the thing of his you found that made you think of me?" He opened a desk drawer and pulled out a bundle of 13 thick notebooks, tied in brown twine, their plain leather covers faded to the color of cream. "He never spoke," the director said, nervously plucking at the twine, "except to tell us his name and the year he was born. He seemed quite proud of both. 'My name is William James Henry, and I was born in the year of our Lord 1876, he would announce to anyone who cared to listen, and anyone who didn't, for that matter. But as to everything else, where he was from, to whom he belonged, how he'd come to the culvert where he was discovered, silence. Advanced dementia, the doctors told me, and certainly I had no reason to doubt it, until we found these wrapped in a towel beneath his bed." I took the bundle from his hand. "A diary?" I asked. He shrugged. "Go on. Open that top one and read the first page." I did. The handwriting was extremely neat, though small, the script of someone who had had formal schooling, when instruction had included lessons in penmanship. I read the first page, then the next, then the following 5. I flipped to a random page, read it twice. While I read, I could hear the director breathing, a heavy huffing sound, like a horse after a brisk ride. "Well?" he asked. "I see why you thought of me," I said. "I must have them back, of course, when you're finished." "Of course." "I'm required by law to keep them in the unlikely event a relative shows up for his things. We placed an ad in the paper and made all the necessary inquiries, but this sort of thing happens all too often, I'm afraid. A person dies, and there is no one in the world to claim them." Sad. I opened another volume to a random page. "I haven't read all of them. I simply don't have the time. But I am extremely curious to hear what's in them. There may be clues to his past, who he was, where he came from, that sort of thing. Might help in locating a relative. Though, from the little I've read, I'm guessing this isn't a diary, but a work of fiction." I agreed it would almost have to be fiction, based on the pages I'd read. "Almost?" he asked. He seemed bemused. "Well, I suppose nearly anything is possible, though some things are much more possible than others." I took the notebooks home and placed them on top of my writing desk, where they stayed for nearly 6 months, unread. I was pressed on a deadline for another book and didn't feel compelled to dive into what I assumed to be the incoherent ramblings of a demented nonagenarian. A call that following winter from the director goaded me into unwrapping the frayed twine and a rereading of the first extraordinary few pages, but little progress besides that. The handwriting was so small, the pages so numerous, written on front and back, that I just skimmed through the first volume, noting that the journal seemed to have been composed over a span of months, if not years. The color of the ink changed, for example, from black to blue and then back again, as if a pen had run dry or been lost. It was not until after the New Year that I read the first 3 volumes in their entirety, in one sitting, from first page to last, the transcript of which follows, edited only for spelling and correction of some archaic uses of grammar. Folio 1. Progeny. Chapter 1. A Singular Curiosity. These are the secrets I have kept. This is the trust I never betrayed. But he is dead now, and has been for more than 40 years, the one who gave me his trust, the one for whom I kept these secrets, the one who saved me, and the one who cursed me. I can't recall what I had for breakfast this morning, but I remember with nightmarish clarity that spring night in 1888 when he roused me.